It's a fact that we Indians have never failed to amaze the world. Time and again, we have shown the world that we are not just a land of snake charmers and elephants. We have made the world realize our competence, ability, and skills. Now, the same is to be done in the sector of agriculture. We will have to show to the world that we are no less than any other country in the world because we are the best. We have smart minds, we have innovative ideas, and energetic and enthusiastic youth, and proper guidance. We just need to channelize all these things so as to realize the dream to be on the top of the world. And that is exactly why we have gathered over here to discuss, to learn, and to develop necessary competence, abilities, and skill. And for that, our today's guest is an inspiration to millions of Indians because of his innovative and philanthropic approach towards farming community. Popularly known as Drone Raja, please welcome the pride of our country, Mr. Gopi Raja, founder and CEO of Focal Technologies, a leading startup based in Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. He's the developer of India's first agriculture drone, which is designed to spray fertilizers in the field so that the farmers do not come in direct contact with the hazardous chemicals. In fact, this drone was also purchased by the Honorable Vice President of the nation, Sri Venkaiah Naidu ji. For his innovations, Mr. Gopi Raja has been a frequent winner of so many awards like Best Startup Pitch Award 2019, Best Innovation Award 2019, winner of Best Student Startup Award, and many others. An alumnus of Yale University, he was also sent to the United States to pursue diploma in entrepreneurship, where he participated in Global Entrepreneurship Challenge and secured third place. Inspired from the plight of farmers, sir, you are truly a motivation for all the youth out there, and it is a moment of pleasure for all of us that you are here with us today. A very cordial welcome to you, sir. Now, I request you to join the platform and share your thoughts and inspire us even more. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, right. Such a wonderful introduction. It was, very happy to hear all these things. I'll share my screen.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure for us to be here, sir.
Yeah. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks. So it's all started. I first of all, I am the son of a farmer. So I came from the farming background, and I used to see my father as a farmer. He used to spray pesticides in his field, and I used to see the difficulties, the way he used to do this spraying job. And when I have started seeing my father's problem, and I have observed not only my father, there are also many other farmers are facing the same difficulties. Some farmers are getting cancer, some farmers are getting lung infection, and some of us even losing the eyes. And many of us know and may not know there is a special train called cancer train. This cancer train is travels from Punjab to Bahrain. 70% of the population in this cancer train are farmers. And all these farmers are because they got cancer because of spraying pesticides in this field. When I realized all these things, when I have observed all these things made us not to sleep in the night. Then I thought, I went to my friends and I started interacting. And first of all, I went to my father and to all other fellow farmers and saying them stop using pesticides and start educating farmers not to use pesticides, and finding out some of the safest methodology to spray pesticides in the fields. Then to fund my dream, I used to go to, it was in 2014 and 2015, in my engineering first year, I used to go to my father and to all his friends, to all the villages, and I used to start collect money, and I used to start a bootstrap to start my dream of using drones for agriculture. So while these things are going on, when I was doing engineering second year, me and my friend called Janardhan, we both are sitting in one laboratory, and we both are sitting in one laboratory and seeing some Facebook videos. At that time, we have observed, Chinese people are in drone in Yale University in laboratory. We both are seeing and seeing. We both are sitting and seeing some Facebook videos. At that time, we have observed a video where Chinese people are using helicopters to spray pesticides in their field. And the person who sat beside me, he told like, what a wonderful technology. Why can't this technology could be implemented in India? Then I thought, why should someone from China or Japan must come to this country and starting a company? And why should they give this kind of technology? Why as an engineer, I can't start myself? And I started making drone from scratch. So in 2014 and 15, when we started these things, the drones are very new to India, and only for marriages and only for events we are using these drones. At that time, when we are doing a lot of trials and when we are doing a lot of product development kind of thing, it was not successful in the day one. And I came from an electrical engineering background with an I'm a very poor student, and my MCET rank is somewhere around 1,40,000. I was very dull student, but I'm trying to make such a wonderful technology with a lot of struggles and lot of up and downs. I would like to share one of the incident where we made a small prototype. We showed to our college management, we showed to our family members. They're okay. They thought like he's doing something okay. Then we flew the drone. It crashed. Again, we flew the drone. It crashed. And when we keep on trying it, the drone flown away, but it was not came till now also. So such a way we have faced a lot of difficulties, but I still remember the day. It's 12th October 2017. The first Indian agriculture drone, the first 10-liter agriculture drone has flown up into the air. And at that day, I have seen proud smile on my father's face. And I have seen a great applause from all the fellow farmers of my village. Then I thought, okay, this is my cup of tea and I need to work on these things. I'll show the video. Just a second. Yes. Yeah, this is the way the drone used to spray pesticides in the field. It's a paddy crop. No. Yes. So, and that is the day when I have seen a proud smile on my father's face. And then we named our company called Fopil Drone Tech Private Limited. Why we named our company Fopil Drone Tech Private Limited is the world has been impacted by three apples. The first apple is Adam and Eve apple, the second apple is Norton's apple, and the third apple is Steve Jobs apple. These three apples have been impacted the world, and these three apples are not from India. Then I thought, okay, why can't I be the fourth apple? And then we named our company as Fopil Drone Tech Private Limited. So where we want to become the fourth apple, and we want to make sure that the next generation children will have a dream to get job in this organization. Such a way we want to make this organization big, and that too making some beneficial to the farmers. And then we launched our product called AgriDrone 1.0 and AgriDrone 2.0. AgriDrone 1.0 is a 10-liter capacity. It's a 10-liter capacity drone where it can spray 25 acres in one day. And AgriDrone 2.0 is a 20-liter capacity drone where it can spray 40 acres in one day. And this AgriDrone 1.0 is this AgriDrone 1.2 is one of the most India's successful agriculture spraying drone. And when we normally a farmer can go and spray hardly 4 or 5 acres one day. He can't spray more than 4 or 5 acres manually, and it's a lot of health issues to the farmers. But these drones can cover 25 to 40 acres in one day, which saves a lot of time to the farmers. When we introduce this technology, it's not an easy task for us. At that time, when we introduce this technology, it's not an easy task for us because a lot of the farmers are having very small land holdings, hardly 2 acres or 3 acres, all are small and marginal farmers. So for all these farmers, giving this kind of advanced technology, and when we started educating them, it's very challenging for us. Then we went to the every door-to-door steps, we went to every villages, and we started educating them. We started giving free trials, and then we started telling this is a life-saving and time-saving technologies to the farmer. When the farmers are slowly started seeing the results of this technology, they started calling me Drone Raja instead of Gopi Raja. And that's how I was very much popular in South India. And then we came up with the business model called Drone Raja business model, where it worked for me and I thought it works for many. So then we came up with the franchisee model where a farmer son, a rural entrepreneur, instead of going to some metropolitan city to find a job, he's just buying one of our franchisee of either 10-liter drone or either 20-liter drone, and he started providing services to the local farmers. So such a way he is going to make an income of around 15 to 20,000 per day. And we did spraying in lot of, and not only that, we have given employment to more than 12 people, and we did spraying of more than 50,000 plus acres in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. These all things made us to create a new opportunities where we started creating a lot of rural employment and rural entrepreneurs. Me not only becoming an entrepreneur, I am creating a lot of entrepreneurs. And not only this, we have started creating an army of drone engineers and drone pilots, where this drone technology is a very demanding technology and very futuristic technology. And keeping these things in mind, we started giving trainings to the lot of youth of this country in workshops, in trainings and all. And we are creating an army of engineers and pilots where they can get placements in these latest drone technology companies. And not only this, we made an MOU with Ministry of Skill Development, where we want to create a lot of drone pilots and drone engineers. And parallel to that, we are especially working on making in India drones as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat, as part of Make in India. And this is the timeline of how we came up to so far. In 2016 and 17, we got the we came up with an idea and we came up with a prototype. At that time, our KL University management has helped us and gave us the seed funding. In 2018 and 19, we sold around 5 drones and we made a business around 25 lakhs. And in 19 and 20, we sold around 10 drones and we made a business around 55 lakhs. In previous financial year, we sold around 15 drones and we made a turnover in 1 crore. In this financial year, we are expected to sell around 100 drones, where we want to make a turnover around 5 crores. And this is the geographical representation of our company. And not only that, we are working parallelly with the governments, where governments can give these drones to the custom hiring centers as part of Kisan drones, as part of Make in India. These drones, government can give these drones to the custom hiring centers, and government can give subsidies to the farmers, where farmers can invest some amount, and government can invest some amount. And not only that, we are parallelly working with the banks, where banks can provide loans to the rural entrepreneurs. So a lot of investment burden will be come down to them. And while we are doing these things, while the things are going on, we all hit with the COVID-19 pandemic. We too also hit with the COVID-19 pandemic. The first 10 days of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, we also sat in home in the quarantine. But I thought, how can we help government using this drone technology? So at that time, we went to our local municipal corporation, we went to the local administration, and we filled this sodium hypochlorite in this drone, and we used to spray in all the red zone areas and containment zone areas. So at that time, some of my experiences at that time, in the morning 3 a.m., I used to get call from the local municipal corporation, where a dead body was buried in the burial ground. And people are not going around that burial ground, and no one is going there to buy the groceries, and no one is going there to buy the vegetables from the mandi. So they want to shift the whole mandi from there to somewhere else. It's a very meticulous process to the government. So at that time, we went there and we used to spray disinfection over there in the whole containment zone areas, in the whole burial ground, so that people are coming around and they are buying the groceries and all. And for all the efforts we put in the COVID-19 pandemic, we got a special appreciation from Governor of Andhra Pradesh. And one of the article which always inspires me, which says, it's a gift for dad, no boon to the farmers. This one article which always inspires me and which helps me to push my boundaries. And I have received Raithiness Puraskaram from Honorable Vice President of India, and I am the one of the youngest person to receive this Raithiness Puraskaram from Honorable Vice President of India. And we closely work with the government of Andhra Pradesh, where we deployed drones to the police department to survey purpose. And I would like to thank some of the support system who helped me to reach up to so far. One is Scale University, where I have incubated my startup. Global Technologies, one of the local seed investor partner, and JD Lakshminarayan sir, who is one of the ex-CBI joint director. He is very close to the farmers, and he is helping us to reach a lot of farmers. And where this technology is going on, and where we are expanding our wings. We all know there is an incident called Nirbhaya in Delhi. There is a woman harassment incident called Nirbhaya in Delhi, where at the same time there is some incident happened in Hyderabad also, which is called Disha. There is a woman harassment is happened at the time. The police was not able to reach on time, so things are out of control. So I thought of inventing a drone technology to help all our sisters in overcoming this woman harassment. So we started making this product called Disha drone, where this Disha drone can travel up to 10 kilometers and give the live data from the 10 kilometers to the command control room. Okay, so we are building this drone, and it has a RGB camera and a thermal camera, where it can give the live feed to the command control room. And we want to give it as a gift to all our sisters to help them to overcome this women harassment. We want to deploy this drone in every police station of India. And some of our goals are, we want to see our product Drone Raja in every farmer's house by 2028, where fortunately the government of India is also supporting us. They came up with the Kisan drones, they come up with the PLA scheme, and they came up with the policies to make these drones and to reach more farmers. And we want to build and execute this Disha drone, and we are started already making pilots. And we want to be the next $1 billion startup by the next 10 years. I would like to conclude my presentation by saying one of the famous quote from Ajim Premji, which says, if people are not laughing at your goals are too small. So just keep working on your goals. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'm open for questions. So then we can continue. We can have some discussion.
Okay, sir. Well, indeed, your presentation tells us that it's not a mere for-profit organization. It's a philanthropic approach, and I would like to thank you and congratulate you for such an innovation that you have established in these course of years. It was really a brilliant idea. Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir, I would like to know that how can you inspire the agriculture graduates to build such kind of technology? Since you are from engineering background, but talking about the agriculture graduates, how can you inspire them, and what can you suggest them to develop these kind of technologies on their own, on a local level, on the grassroots level?
So the first thing what I would like to suggest is everyone, they are staying in their comfort zones. So I request every student who is attending this workshop, one thing is, our organizers, Just Agriculture is one of the platform. They are coming out of their comfort zone. They are doing this is only one of its kind of organization where they are doing a 21 days workshop. It's not an easy task for them. It's it's not, they won't have even the sleep. I know them. Such a way they are coming out of their comfort zone, and they are trying. They are getting, they are getting in touch with people like us. They are doing a lot of, background work to connect our experts like us to you. So that's why every agriculture graduate, every student who is attending this workshop, I sincerely suggest them, you please come out of your comfort zone and you start trying to make some innovative projects. Instead of going in the flow, you go out of the flow and you start making some innovative projects which help your local farmers. I know one of my friend, who is making a slippers, to climb the electrical pole. Okay, he made a slipper to climb the electrical pole. Normally to climb the electrical pole, it's very task for the lineman to climb the electrical pole. But they made a slipper to climb the electrical pole so that the lineman can easily climb it. And fortunately, His student is the first line woman. His student, my friend's student is the first woman who got placed in the electrical department as a line woman.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the news which was fetched in the BBC today.
Yes, sir.
So you know why all these things are happening is because they came out of the comfort zone and they are trying to help the farmers. They're trying to help the rural people. So one suggestion is I would like to make is you please come out of your suggestion and you start making things. It may fail, it may success, it may be whatever the hell may be happen. You start making it. You start experimenting it.
Yes, sir.
Every great innovation in the world, not only great innovation, everything in the world is born two times. Everything in the world is born two times. One is in our mind, then is in the reality. So that's why I suggest everyone, you just start thinking in your mind, you just take the decision, things will happen automatically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. So the next question coming up is that how do you regulate the recommended dose of the fertilizers and how do you do this?
It's a wonderful question. It's a wonderful question actually. And till now, you know, if you from last 20 years back, we used to spray only either 2 liters or 3 liters per acre. Okay, like 20 years back in 95 or else somewhere between 98 like that 20-25 years back, we used to spray only 10 liters or 15 liters per acre or else maximum of 4 or 5 liters, something like that per acre. I used to see my grandfather and those people used to say, you know, they used to spray hardly 4 or 5 liters per acre. But right now we are spraying around 200 liters per acre minimum. 200 liters per acre, like, you know, 7 tanks. There is a Taiwan pump is there. With this Taiwan pump, we are spraying around 7 tanks, 8 tanks, 10 tanks, and every other day we are doing the spraying operation. So it's you know, literally we are eating poison. Okay, so there are a lot of chemicals are going into the, you know, plants and all. So there are 3 kinds of chemical combinations are there: ultra low volume, and high volume. Till now, all the company manufacturers are high volume chemicals only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, high volume kind of dosage chemicals only. Either maybe systematic or else content, people are manufacturing this high volume type of chemicals. Fortunately, from past 1 year and 1.5 years, IFCO came up with the nano urea and nano DAP. Okay, where we are working on spraying this nano urea and nano DAP, and this nano urea and nano DAP is ultra low volume kind of formulation.
Yes, sir.
So when all the companies like Bayer, Syngenta, and UPL, and when all these companies come up with this ultra low volume kind of chemical manufacturing, ultra low volume kind of formulations, definitely this drone technology will reach the masses. So till now, what we are doing is we are using the 70% of the actual high volume dosage. Let's say, for example, there is a chemical called corrosion in paddy. There is a chemical called corrosion in paddy. They used to spray 150 ml per 1 acre. Normal spraying. Normal knapsnock spraying. They used to spray 150 ml per 1 acre. And they are mixing at 100 liters or else 120 liters. Okay. And what we people are trying to do is we are using only 100 ml of chemical to 10 liters of water. So these all things what we are trying to do is we are doing it as a thumb rule. We are doing it as a thumb rule. And one more thing is these all things are done what we call these all things are done practically from the farmer's point of view. Like, you know, in the ground level, we are going to the farmers and we are taking their inputs and with some experiments. It's not like standard operating procedure. To use this much only, to use these things only. It's not like that. It's a thumb rule. It varies from place to place.
Yes, sir.
But luckily, some of the research institutes like NAPHM manage and you know, the agriculture research, you know, agriculture universities working on formulating these chemicals for the drone basis also.
Yes, sir. Are you also collaborating with them? For example, Angrao and the Telangana.
Yes. We are working with them also very closely. We are working with all the research institutes also very closely.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So the next question is that what is the accuracy rate of these drones during operational activities?
It's very good. It's very good, and farmers are adopting this drone technology very quickly.
Yes, sir.
If you want to see our work, you can search in YouTube called Drone Raja YouTube channel. You just go to the YouTube and you search it as Drone Raja YouTube channel. And even in Instagram also, I will be in touch with everyone. If you search as a Drone Raja in Instagram or as Drone Raja in LinkedIn also, I'll be in touch with everyone. And we can have some offline discussion. If anyone who want to take it to the next level, we'll have an offline discussion and we can collaborate, and we can either give trainings, or else we can do some research. We can develop individualized drones, and a lot of things can be done. That is one thing. And one more thing is, as you said, we are already collaborating with many institutes to formulate these things.
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to know that as you show your turnovers, it was in crores. So I would like to know, who are your majority of the consumers? Are they large farmers, or who are they? And if large farmers, what is your strategy for the smaller farmers and the marginal farmers?
What is happening is farmer directly don't buy the drone. Okay, farmer directly don't buy the drone. Why? Because farmers are let's say there is a 150 acres of farmer is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for him spraying job is only 4 or 5 days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he can't keep his drone with him, and he can't continuously spray the thing. That's why what we people are trying to do is, we are trying to give this drone to the rural people. What is happening is, majority of us came from the rural background.
Yes,
majority of them came from the villages. We settled in some metropolitan city in finding some job or in finding our works. So instead of that, we can stay back in the villages. We can have one drone with us, and we can start provide to the local farmers. Such a way, many of the youth are becoming the rural entrepreneurs, and they start providing services to the local farmers. So such a way, many youth are buying these drones, and they are providing services to the local farmers. That's why we are able to reach masses.
Yes. Okay, sir. Sir, next question is that are you also using the variable rate technology? For example, in the soil, we see that some of the portion of the soil are rich in nutrients, some of them are deficient. So if you use a drone, there should be an uniform. A drone uniformly supplies the fertilizers and herbicides, whatever. So how are you coping up with these things, like where the requirement is more and where the requirement is less?
Definitely. Coming to the drones for agriculture, there are a number of applications out there. Some of the major application is uniform spraying, what we are doing right now. Using an agriculture drone, we are mapping 4 or 5 acres, and we are doing a uniform spraying where it required or not required. That is one way of doing things. And the other way is using a multispectral camera drone and start scanning the field, and we can understand where the data, we can get the data like NDVI data, we can get nutrition data and all, and based upon that we can we can do the precision spraying. Wherever the required, we can do the precision spraying, but this precision spraying may not work in India. Okay, but why? Because India is having a very small land holding, 2 acres or 3 acres and 4 acres of marginal farmers. So though we spray in 1 acre, let's say we did a patch of spraying in 1 acre, we did a patch of spraying, but the insect will jump to the other acre. It's not a controlled environment.
Yes,
but in US and UK, it's entirely different. It's a masses, it's 1,000 acres mass. So we can do patch of spraying, and those things can be done. In India, it may not work. The precision spraying may not work in India. Till now, the blanket spraying is only successful. But furtherly, we are doing some internal research where we can do the precision spraying as well.
Excellent, sir.
Yeah.
The next, I would like to know that what are your prospects on the protection aspect of agriculture, like disease spread, and how is there any way to monitor those through using drones, like monitoring of the diseases and plant protection measures through drones?
Yeah, that can be done if you use a multispectral camera drone where we can detect the NDV, RGB. We can detect the multispectral data.
Yes,
so with the multispectral data, we can we can understand how the crop lifetime is, where the water is flowing evenly or not, where the greenery is there, where the greenery is not there, where the growth is there. This kind of analysis can be done, and that is also very new to India. Those kind of drone application is also very new to India. The only question is who is going to pay for that. Okay, the only question is it's a spraying operation. When we are doing a spraying operation to the farmer is going to pay us. Why? Because we are doing it in the very less time. The normal manual spraying takes a lot of time, drone spraying takes less time, and we lose the chemical quantity less, we lose the water quantity less. That's why farmer is paying us to do the drone spraying operation regularly, like per acre 400.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when we go to the farmer and when we say we will scan the crop and we will give we'll give the report of your crop so that you can understand how the crop is going. When farmer is not ready to pay for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he will tell, I know everything, I know how to manage my crop.
Yes.
So, but when we go to the corporate agriculture, when we go to the FPOs, when we go to the the new agriculture policy.
Yes, sir.
So when these things come to place in the mind, at that when these things comes to place, then we can work it out on this precision farming as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, what about your prospects on expanding your is there any similar technology available in northern part of the country or northeastern part of the country? And if not, what are your prospects on expanding to the other parts of the country?
Definitely, we have recently established a drone center of excellence in Uttar Pradesh, where we have collaborated with the Mother Mohan Malviya University in Uttar Pradesh, Gorakhpur. So from there, we want to make it as a hub, and we want to operate in the northern part of India also. And that is one thing. And one more thing is we started our operations in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
And soon we are planning we are looking for collaborations. We are looking for some collaborations. We are looking for some mentoring. We are looking for the local people support where we can work together and where we can grow together.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, how easy do you think is it for farmers to adapt to this kind of environment and these kind of technologies?
It's a very demanding kind of thing. It's a very demanding kind of thing. There is a lot of pressure on people like us who is working in this domain, and farmers are adopting very quickly. Let's say if I can give you some numbers. Previously, we are going to some village. We are going with the drone. We are going to some new village to do the drone spraying operation. We are just spraying some 10 and 20 acres to control the weed in paddy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when we started spraying this 10 or 20 acres per one day, they are happy with that, and they are asking us to spray the whole village. Okay, and I will tell you one story. Which has happened for us in last January. Not this year January, in previous year January, we went to a village called Mustabad in near Vijayawada, where we went there and we did spraying for. We went to Mustabad and we did spraying for 20 acres. And at the end of the season, we did spraying around 3,000 acres in that village. Okay, so farmers are adopting very quickly. And in last June and July, the whole village brought one drone from us.
Brilliant.
Okay, they brought one drone and they started doing their job. They are not giving the market for us.
Yes, sir.
So such a way farmers are adopting very quickly. A layman like 10th class pass or else 12th class pass, farmers, they are buying the drones and they are using these things in their fields and all. Yes.
Excellent, sir. What do you think are the challenges that you have been facing in the adoption of these kind of technology, or any entrepreneur might face on the part of farmers? What are the challenges in agriculture that the adoption of these technologies are facing?
Can you come again, please?
Sir, what are the challenges that you think you faced or you are facing currently while on the part of farmers while adopting to these kind of technologies?
As India is a democratic country, everyone will have the freedom to speak. So
yes,
farmers coming to the farmers, if few farmers are accepting and few farmers are opposing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's say we have many examples like that. We need to spray 20 acres of land. It's having a multiple farmers in that. Some farmers having 2 acres, some farmers is having 3 acres. One farmer is okay to spray for 10 liters per 1 acre. One farmer is okay to spray 50 liters per 1 acre. But at the same time, some farmers will come to there and they will say, we want to have 30 liters per acre. So as India is a democratic country, everyone has the freedom to speak. Definitely, we need to accept their thing. We need to convince them. And one thing, the key to my success is patience.
Definitely.
Okay. I'll go to their level. I'll sit with them. I'll say, what? Okay, uncle. Okay, chacha. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Like that I'll go. So then it works. Then it works.
Yes, yes. And so, since you started this, understanding the plight of the farmers, that they were, they were suffering from different kind of diseases. You mentioned about cancer and the cancer train and all of that. So, what do you think has been achieved by your company so far in terms of health issues related to farmers and the farming community?
For the best example, I would like to say one of the farmer called Bapireddy. Bapireddy, he is cultivating 8 acres of what he called lily plantation. 8 acres of lily plantation. For
Yes,
this 8 acres of lily plantation, every second day he need to do the spraying operation. Okay, for every second day while he need to do the spraying operation, he used to go and he used to have the backpack and he used to do the spraying job, and the chemical used to fall on his on him, and he used to get a lot of itching, and he is not. Just a second, just a second, just a second. Please stay
sure, sir.
online.
Sure, sure, sir.
So the farmer used to not get sleep in the nights. He when he took food also, it was not good for him. He used to get vomitings, and such a kind of situation is there, and it's very problematic to him. But he brought a drone from us. He brought a second-hand drone from us, where he not having much budget. He has very less budget. He brought some drone for 3 lakhs, something like that. And he started doing spraying using these drones in their field. So within 1 hour, he can spray his whole field.
Yes, sir.
And even his wife learned the technology, and his daughter also learned the technology. Okay, such a way, they are very happy for that. Whenever I go to their village, they will treat me like their own son.
Yes, sir.
So these kind of great things can be achieved only for the entrepreneurship. These kind of great things can be achieved only for the people who are working for the farming community.
Yes, sir.
The love, what farmers can give, no one can give.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, what is the cost of one drone and what is the shelf life of one drone? Sure, sir. Sorry for the inconveniences. We'll just be joining in a moment.
So I'll show you some of the videos where we are working.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, can you see my screen, right?
No, sir.
Oh, just a second. Yeah.
Yes. Now we can see it, sir.
Yeah, that is the time when I have received Raitines Purskaram from Honorable Vice President of India.
Congrats on that, sir.
Yeah. And one more thing I would like to show you. we are trying to make these drones beneficial to the horticulture farmers also. Okay, till now very few people have tried using drones in horticulture, but there is also very good scope for using drones for horticulture. Why? Because in horticulture, especially in coconut plantation, there is a special attack called whitefly attack. Due to this whitefly attack, the yield of the crop is going very less.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's why for that these things can be helpful. These drones is the best solution. We tried doing this in the what you call mango plantation.
Yes, sir.
Let's see this one.
Sir, is it for spraying pesticides?
It's just a trail. It's just a trail. This is the 20 kgs capacity drone. This is one of the India's biggest spraying drone.
Yes, sir.
I'll show you one more thing. This is the time when we did spraying in the mango.
Sir, how much area is the?
Sorry, it's a 40 acres crop. It's a 40 acres crop, and we have not did the whole 40 acres. We are doing it a plant to plant. We did it as a trial.
Okay, sir. Brilliant, sir.
And I'll show you something more interesting as well.
Sure, sir.
And you know, there is a lot of water bodies are there all over India. There is a lot of water bodies are there. There is some foreigner,
Yes.
there is some foreign plant which came into the Indian water body, and that water that is called water hyacinth. Water hyacinth. In Hindi, what we
Yes,
call
sir.
it as, in Hindi, what we call it as in Hindi.
Sir, generally it is known as terror of Bengal.
Yeah. And to kill these weeds, it's very tough to the farmers. It's a very headache process to the farmers where they can't control. They can't collect this whole weed of water hyacinth. So for that, we are using drone spraying.
It's a very innovative idea, sir, actually.
So to control this water hyacinth, it's very tough to the farmers of that local region. So they called us. We went to their place and we did the spraying of this water hyacinth. So it's a very, within 2-3 days they are able to control the whole water hyacinth of that lake. And now this water is useful to the villages.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Excellent, sir.
Yeah. And this is how the farmer actually operate the drones.
Right, sir. Sir, what is the shelf life of one drone?
The lifetime of the drone is 2,500 acres.
Sorry, sir.
The lifetime of the drone is 2,500 acres.
Okay, sir. 2,500.
Till now, the first drone where we have given to the farmer is in 2018 October. In September 2018, we have given to the farmer for the first time, and till now the drone is in operational.
Okay, sir.
They did around 4,000 acres spraying.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, please continue, sir.
So they did around 4,000 acres spraying, and the farmer used the drone and he sold the drone to some other farmer. And right now he is upgrading to the new drone.
Yes, sir.
So such a farmers are very much quickly adopting. And the person who is operating, he's a degree graduate. He's a degree graduate from the local field. After completion of his degree, he brought drone from us, and he is doing job to the local farmers.
Yes, sir. Right.
Mm.
Sir, is there any technology where we can reuse them? Like for example, if the drone has utilized its full capacity to spray 2,500 hectares as you told, is there any technology where we can re-establish them or what do we call replenish them as new?
Definitely. See. Definitely, it's completely electronic kind of thing. No, so definitely, what we people can do is, for cars, for after using a car for some 1 lakh kilometers, something like that, we'll do boring. We'll clean the engine and again we'll do it. No, in such a for this also, if you use the new motors,
Yes, sir.
definitely this drone can be used as a new drone also.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
there's one more question coming up from the audience. The audience wants to
Mm.
know that you just showed about the a spray on the water hyacinth, that is the terror of Bengal. So doesn't it affect the water if the water so doesn't it affect the water if you spray directly on the
Yeah,
water
definitely.
hyacinth?
Very good, very good. See,
Yes, sir.
actually, there are multiple methods of spraying. Multiple chemicals can be used. What we did is it's an organic spraying, and we did a sodium salt spraying.
Yes, sir.
It's a sodium salt.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, what we did is we did a spraying called sodium salt.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, when we did a sodium salt, because of the sodium, it can't do photosynthesis, and that's why the weed is getting killed.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it's not a herbicide. It's not a herbicide. And and what the precautions what we people are doing is when we're doing the spraying operation, we are telling the
Yes.
people not to use the lake for 1 week.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and that's why it's working for them.
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
sir, what about the water bodies like the aqua life inside the water? Do they get
No, see,
affected?
initially when we did it in the day one, initially when we did it with the day one, we too got the
Yes,
same problem and we too got the same question.
yes, sir.
Okay, so but when we did the spraying weights, when we did the spraying in the weights, the weight got killed, and the same weight was the same weight is using as a food to the fishes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when the weight is when we did the spraying, the weight is getting spoiled and it's getting into the water.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's getting shrinked in the water. So when
Yes.
it gets shrinked in the water, it is being used as a food to the fishes.
Okay, sir. So
So
that
that's
is
how it was
like
helpful.
sustainable. Yes, sir.
That is a benefit to the farmers,
So that's
aqua
more like a
farmers.
sustainable thing. Yes, sir.
One question from the yes. One question from the audience is for spraying on the large scale, there must be refilling of the drones again and again. What is the maximum capacity of the drone can carry pesticide? So
Yes.
the maximum capacity of the drone can carry is 25 kgs, 25 liters. And few drones in China, people are even made 60 kgs capacity drone and 70 liters capacity drone also. But the
Yes.
major problem, if we go beyond 10 liters, just a second, please stay on the line, just a second.
Sure, sir.
Uh-huh. Hello. Hello. Yes.
So our next guest has also arrived. So I would request him to, sir, please be on the line. We are just completing with our current guest. So we will start in a while.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, brother. Yeah, I am very sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem, sir. Not at all. No problem,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm getting a frequent calls from someone else. And that is one thing. And one more thing is, yeah, you are asking me a question.
So about the maximum capacity of the drone to carry pesticides.
Yeah. The maximum capacity of the drone is we can we can carry up to 25 kgs. But because when the drone is becoming heavier, the wind flow is also heavier. Due
Yes,
to that, the crop is getting fallen down.
yes, sir.
That's why we are not going beyond 10 liters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all about the questions and answers. I hope all the respective queries have been answered.
Yeah, just a second. One thing is amount of water decreased here, so concentration of the pesticide changes. Yes, the concentration of the pesticide is spraying. The concentration of the pesticide has been increased, but the flow rate of the drone, the speed of the drone is entirely different.
Yes.
Okay, that's why it's working to the farmers. Yeah.
Okay, so now I think the questions and answers are over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, I would like to thank you for being with us. And on the wall behind you, it's written that if you can dream it, you can make it. So you are perfect example for that, and you're truly an inspiration for all the audiences who've been listening to you for this 1 hour. And really, I would like to thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you so much, sir.
Right.
It was a pleasure hearing you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Please, I would like to stay in touch with everyone. So if it's okay for you, please connect me in the LinkedIn. You can search it as a Drone Raja, or else in Instagram, in LinkedIn, I can be in touch with you all, so that we can see how can we take this technology to the more farmers.
Definitely, sir. And we would like to connect you in future also in the upcoming programs. We would like to see you again also, sir.
Sure. Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Best wishes from the team.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so this was Mr. Gopi Raja for you, and it was indeed a very informative lecture and very innovative approach from his side, very philanthropic, I would like to say. So moving on with the program, and the next guest that we have with us in the chain of speakers is also very intelligent, smart, and a diligent personality. Please welcome Mr. Tushar Agarwal, the founder of Rise Hydroponics and DG Elephant. Both the companies are based in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And an alumnus of Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Mr. Agarwal is an expert at dealing with all forms of protected cultivation, apart from hydroponics. He also excels in production, marketing, and distribution of agri-products. He has served as a social media marketing consultant, digital marketing consultant, committee head of Empresario, a startup summit, and various other positions of repute. He has also trained more than 5,000 students, businessmen, international delegates, entrepreneurs at various sessions and programs. Sir, you have received huge numbers of awards and accolades like FTT's first global seed, winner in bootstrap category, highest scorer in milestone-based entrepreneurial learning, etc. And I welcome you to this program wholeheartedly on the behalf of the entire team and audience. And I'm sure that it will be a fruitful session for all of us to be hearing from you. So, sir, please share with us everything that you think should be the priority of modern agriculture and the people involved in it. Now, welcoming you, sir, over to you. The platform is all yours.
Thank you so much for a lovely introduction. I would like to thank you, Utkarsha, Just Agriculture, and your complete team for making such an insightful session for all the 200 plus people who are present here, for making the session available and inviting all these experienced and eminent personalities on your session, so that all of us can together come on one single platform and learn from each other. So I'll not take a lot of time and straight away start with my presentation.
Sure.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So About rice, few of you or a lot of you might already know about rice. So at Rise Hydroponics, we are basically into complete turnkey project development. We are into hydroponics and soilless farming. We are working in the protected cultivation and soilless farming areas in India, and we have been into hydroponics or protected cultivation for almost 5 to 6 years now, wherein the first 2 years mostly comprised of a lot of R&D and self research and market research and practicing all of the things ourselves. After that, we did a lot of consulting to a lot of farmers and individuals across the country. And last 2 years, we have been working as an organization. Rise particularly started in April 2020. And in the last 2 odd years that we have been working, we have developed around 30 plus commercial hydroponics projects in pan India. We have operational farms in Delhi, Gurgaon, Mathura, Lucknow, Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Indore, multiple cities, Dehradun. So we have a very strong team of more than 100 people, which comprises of all kind of blue collar, white collar, and gray collar people. And we are working in different cities, and we have been growing a lot of different crops. Till now, we have grown almost 30-40 plus different types of crops. Everything from your lettuce to your exotic leafy vegetables like your basil, arugula, kale, to your vine crops like bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, English cucumbers, or broccoli or zucchini. And we have also been working in the Ayurvedic category. So we are growing a lot of herbs and medicinal plants like your haldi. In haldi, we are doing black haldi, we are doing lakadong, we are doing pragati, pratibha, Rajendra Sonia. Then we are doing ashwagandha, we are doing brahmi. So a lot of different things we have been doing over the years. So the current food system, if we take a look on the same, then we will realize that there is a lot of biodiversity loss and climate change that has been happening. So because of that, a lot of issues have already been coming up, and more issues are increasing as we move ahead into the future. There is like a very unsustainable kind of food consumption pattern. Diet related non-communicable diseases have come. There is a very huge increase in the population. Environmental degradation has been happening. A lot of food is being wasted. We ourselves have seen them ourselves, like during marriages or social functions, a lot of food is being wasted, and at the same time there are a lot of people who do not get food. So there is a very much imbalance in the society, or there are a lot of forms of malnutrition is there. And because of the junk foods, the habits have changed. And also due to the excessive uses of pesticides and harmful chemicals, the quality of the food that we have been eating has changed over the last 10, 20, 30 years. There is a huge challenge that awaits us in the future. If you see that by 2050, that is less than around 25, 28 years are just left. So in the next 27, 28 years, there will be 2.2 billion more people in the world. And to feed all of these people, we will need to increase our agriculture production, or to increase the total production that we are doing in the around the world by 70%. So only then will we be able to meet this demand. So what happens is that since we are using excess pesticides, what it is doing is that there is a lot of adverse impact on the environment. The surface water that is present, the groundwater that is there, all of these things are being contaminated. Soil is being contaminated. The fertility of the soil is also decreasing, because when we are putting a lot of pesticides and chemicals, so the naturally occurring microorganisms that are present in the soil, which improves the fertility, those are also being killed. So that is something which is a very bad thing that has been happening. And we are also doing a lot of contamination of air, soil. If you see at a food supply challenge in urban area, so there is a food safety and transportation problems in mega cities. Sanitation and hygiene issues are there. Water scarcity is there. Pollution is there. Food spoilage and wastages are there. Food poisoning is happening a lot. Storage, processing, preparation, distribution, all of these things we are facing issues. If we talk about environmental challenges, then there are challenges of the climate change, the drought conditions we have been seeing over the years. If you see in the natural cycle of the weather conditions that it is. So if you even talk about last year, then we had rainfalls in November, we had rainfalls in December. So what that did, it actually damaged a lot of crops around the country. In South India, there were a lot of rainfalls in November, December, even in North India, West India, everywhere. So the season has been changing. During summers, we are getting extreme. If you see now, we are at 47, 48. I am sitting in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Yesterday was the hottest till now. It was 48 degrees centigrade. So at this temperature, to grow something is really a big challenge, and that too in open environment conditions. So then there is very inefficient use of limited resources. So the resources that we have are very much limited, and on that too we are not using it efficiently. So as we all know that it has been said by a lot of people that the third world war that will happen, it will happen for water. And we see in a typical traditional farming or a flood irrigation system that we are just putting thousands and thousands of liter into the ground, and we are just wasting that water. So we are not using whatever resources we have efficiently. So that is something that is very much a need of the hour, and each and every one of us or the farmers should certainly do it. If not the farmers, then there should be government organizations or policies or things like that which helps the farmers to understand what is protected cultivation, how we can use modern technologies to decrease the usage of water or to improve the efficiency of using all these things. So the solution that we can talk about is like a controlled environment agriculture. So controlled environment agriculture is basically doing agriculture in a controlled environment. It can be a poly house, it can be a greenhouse, it can be an indoor setting, it can be a glass house. Different kinds of structures can be done. If you talk about the history of your CEA, that is controlled environment agriculture, it goes very long back. So in the 30 AD was the first time when controlled environment was practiced in Rome, where they used stone walls for insulation and glass ceilings so that light could come inside. Then 1960 they moved on to galvanized steel, and they started using plastic. 1980 was the time when we in India we started using such technology, and in 1998 through the Indo-Israel partnership or project we started the first Indian Agriculture Research Institute, that is in Delhi. So what is controlled environment agriculture? It is basically a technology that enables the growers to manipulate a crop's environment to the desired conditions. So as I told you, Rishi, just to confirm, is English okay, or do you want me to use Hindi or a mix of both? You're on mute. Mute पे हो आप.
Sorry, sir. Actually, English is fine because all the lectures and sessions are conducted in English only, so English is perfectly fine.
ठीक है, not an issue.
Yes.
So as I was telling you, कि yesterday in Ahmedabad the temperature was 48, and most of North India is like 40 to 45. You are in Delhi or in Rajasthan or in UP, MP, wherever you are, you must be at above 40 degree. So how to grow the vegetables or different crops in this kind of adverse condition? So that is why that is where a controlled environment agriculture or a controlled environment setting comes in. So basically, it is a combination of engineering, plant science, computer managed technologies, and which are used to basically optimize the plant growing system so that the plant quality and the produce quality improves. And at the same time, we can do all these things with a very efficient, in a very efficient manner. So we are using technology and data, and we are growing crops. We are growing different vegetables. We are growing different nutraceuticals or pharmaceutical applications, which crops which have those kind of applications. So hydroponics, aeroponics, aquaponics, vertical farming, grow bag with coco peat, NFT systems. All these are different types of controlled environment agriculture. Poly houses, your greenhouses, fan and pad polyhouse structures. All these are different or a indoor farm. All these are different examples of a controlled environment agriculture. So basically, what are the objectives of doing controlled environment agriculture? So it helps to give a protection to the plant from the abiotic stress that it faces from the different. Then there is a very much efficient use with minimum weed infestation. If you talk about hydroponics specifically, or probably aquaponics specifically, or even aeroponics, then you would understand that the water that we are using is very less. Like what the percentage, if I tell you that we use probably 80-85% less water than traditional farming, use 80-85% less land than a traditional farm. Why is that? Because here, like, we have NFT channels in which water is flowing. It is called a nutrient film technique. So the water is flowing inside that. So there is no water that is being wasted. It is basically a recirculating system. So there is a big tank, a reservoir or a nutrient tank that is there, and from that there is a motor or a pump that has been fixed, and that is used to pump the nutrient water to all the NFTs and all the stands and all the plants. So that water is recirculated. It keeps on recirculating in the same system. So only the just a second. Sorry. So we are using very less water. So only the water that is either absorbed by the plants, that is used by the plants, or is absorbed by the atmosphere. Only that water is decreasing. All the rest water is still in the system. So very less water usage as well as almost zero water wastage is there. So we are using water very efficiently in this kind of system. Then what we are doing is we are enhancing the productivity per unit area. If you see, like as I told, there is 80% less usage of land. What amount of land you need to grow, let's say 10,000 plants in a traditional farming option is probably 1 acre or even more. But when you are doing it in a protected cultivation, or when you're doing it vertically, when you're doing it in an NFT system, you require almost 80% less land for the same. So the amount of land that is required, that is also decreasing. When all of us sitting in India, for us land or for us area does not matter a lot, because India is a very big country. We have, like, if you take one Uttar Pradesh, probably we can fit in 2-3 major countries of the world. So we do not think about land as other people or other major countries of the world have to think about. So countries like Israel or UAE or your Gulf countries, or even Greece, or a lot of countries which are very small. So there, finding a piece of 5-acre land is a very big thing and a challenging thing. So for places like that, it becomes very important, or the technology plays a very important or a vital role, wherein you can get a lot of production in a very less area comparatively. Then there is a lot, the usage of pesticide or harmful chemicals is very much minimized or negated. because since it is a protected cultivation, the crops that you are growing, it is protected from all the sides, and there is no space for the insects to come in. Like in a open farm, what happens is that you are growing your crops on land, and it is completely open. Insects can come whenever they want, they can go whenever they want. So it is very easy for your crops to get infected, and get the you can your plants can get attacked by different kinds of pests and different kind of harmful things. So because it is such a protected area that we are doing it in, there is very less chances that any pests can come inside. So because of that, there is very less usage of pesticides as well, because a lot very few helps you to decrease the temperature. Again, taking an example of probably Delhi, if the temperature outside is 45 right now, and we have a fan and pad temperature controlled polyhouse structure, we can maintain somewhere around 33, 35 degrees inside the polyhouse. So if it is around 40, we can maintain around 30. So if we are able to manage around 10 degrees, 11 degrees of temperature, then that becomes like it is a completely game changing thing that you are doing. You are able to grow a lot of different kinds of crops and vegetables or your leafy greens that you otherwise would have not been possible for you to grow. If you talk about, let's say, lettuce, or if you talk about basil, or even if you take an example of bell peppers, that is your, or a colored capsicum. So that is something which like a capsicum, it has a cycle from July or August to your March or Feb or March. That is a typical cycle. But if you are doing it in a protected structure with a fan pad setting, then you can have the, you can take that cycle wherein you get production in April, May, June, when the, like, the price of color capsicum, if you check in the market right now, it is upwards of 350 rupees. So how do you make agriculture profitable? You can make that profitable by doing in adverse conditions. If you are able, when there is no supply of capsicum in the market right now, and you are able to grow it and get it to the market, you will get double the rate. If there is no supply of lettuce and you are able to grow it, if there is no supply of strawberry and you are able to grow it, then that is the time that you can get most highest rate for the same. So what it does is that it helps you to grow high value crops and quality horticultural produce. And we can take year round and off season production. That is the main thing, how you can earn more money, that you can take year round and off season production of flowers, vegetables, or fruit crops. Then we can do production of disease free and genetically better transplants, because parameters like temperature, humidity, light, carbon dioxide, nutrients, and a lot other things are controlled in a CEA setting. So if you see the current scenario, our population has increased almost 3.5 times since we got independence. And in your 2019-20, we were producing around 291 metric tons. And while we say that more than 70% or more than 60% of India's population is involved in agriculture in some way or the other, but at the same time, if you see the contribution of agriculture in the GDP, it is less than 20%. So that is something that is very, not very good scenario, and that is the reason why we see that farmers are not able to survive. They are committing suicides because it is not becoming profitable for them. If you see, we in India, we are doing somewhere around 110 hectares. We are doing, this is like probably 2010 or 2015 ka data. And world around, if you see, there is 275,000 hectares plus has been done. And majorly the states that are adopting it are Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Haryana, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, a little bit of West Bengal. Not all the states have been, adopting it with an open heart. If you see about the worldwide statistics, then China is leading everywhere. Then you see Korea, Spain, Japan, Turkey. And if you see the size of the country or the size of the land masses that we have, and then you compare, then you see that we are not even in the top 8, top 10, which is not a very good sign. Because if since we have such huge chunks of land, we should certainly have more and more area of land or of area into our protected cultivation. So future is, more and more of different types of protected cultivation, greenhouse production, polyhouse, vertical farms, indoor farms, your pan and pad temperature control structures. These are things which will become common. Urban farming has been picking up a lot lately. Farms inside malls is a concept which is, already become popular in countries like Dubai and all. And certainly in the next 5, 8 years, 7, 8 years, India will also see a lot of them happening. So again, the advantages, if you see, is that year round you can take production. There is no running out of land. It is very much environment friendly. You can increase the yield. There is a lot of water conservation as well. So how it works is that the protected cultivation or a polyhouse structure, it is the plastic that you see, it is a polyurethane material that is used. So what it does is that it traps the energy within it, and heat is provided to the plants. Only the amount that is required. It filters the sunlight, it filters the UV radiation, it filters the harmful radiation that comes from the sun, and provides only what is necessary. Then there are various different options or various different products that has been made available by leading brands of the world, be it your Vinegar or your Suncool or your Garware, and there are multiple brands. Green Pro works a lot in South India. So all these brands have developed different kinds of your covering, which basically comes in different varieties of like 70% diffused or 50% diffused or a clear plastic. Depending on your geographical location and the condition, you choose the covering that you will use. Suppose you are in a place which is a cold place which does not receive a lot of sunlight, so that in that case you need more sunlight. So the plastic covering that you will choose there will be different from a place like Ahmedabad or a place like Delhi where you get a lot of sunlight. So everything changes as per the location. These are few types of protected structures. So as I told you, there are options of fan and pad polyhouse, naturally ventilated polyhouses, shade net house, and poly net house. So this is how a fan and pad polyhouse typically looks. On one side there are cooling pads that are installed, and on the other side there are big exhaust fans there that are installed. And we basically pour water on the cooling pad. I'll show you 1 second. So this material is basically the cooling pad material that is used in a fan and pad polyhouse. This is a cellulose based material in a honeycomb structure. So a few of you might have seen it, or it is like basically the huge, like, so not huge, big coolers that are there in the market. If you would have seen, then there is some brown kind of material. This is the same material. And in industries as well, this material is used for industrial cooling. So on one side, this kind of this is installed, and we pour water on the same. And after that, just a second. Yeah, so basically water is sprinkled on that, and this cooling pad becomes wet. Once it becomes wet, on the opposite side there are big exhaust fans that are running. and they basically suck the air through that cooling pad. So what happens is that through evaporative method, the inside temperature becomes cool. So if you compare, there will be a 10 degrees difference in the outside and the inside temperature. I'll just stop this share and show you a different PPT. I'll show you live pictures as well for your better understanding. So this is how a fan and pad polyhouse structure looks. As you can see, these are your exhaust fans that have been installed. From top, it is a completely closed structure. It is a dome type structure. It is completely packed. On this side, you can see the fans. You can see the fans. And the opposite side, you can see this kind of cooling pad is there. You can see the cooling pad is there. So you can see the pipes that are present here. So through these pipes, the water is flowed onto the pads, these white pipes that you can see. From here, the water is being inlet. And from bottom side, through this gray PVC pipe that you can see, from here, the water is again collected and there is a tank here where it comes back and then it keeps on recirculating. This is also a recirculating system. So again, very minimal wastage of water, no wastage of water. A few people are raising a hand. Rishiji, how do you want to take it?
So I think it was not visible. We're just getting a view of the slide only. This rise hydroponics, the future of farming. What you recently described is not shown actually.
I'll share it again. What do you see now?
Yes, now I see the second slide types. Yes, sir. Now I can see it.
You can see the fans.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so these are the fans that I was talking about. The structure, as you can see, is completely enclosed. It is a dome type structure. It is packed from all sides. One side we can see these are the exhaust fans that have been installed. And the other side is this, where you can see the pad, that is the cooling pad that has been installed. This white pipes that you see, through these white pipes, we are taking the water to the top, and from there it is sprinkled down to the cooling pad and it becomes wet. And from bottom, through these PVC pipes, it is again collected back. There is a tank at the left end.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but you can put it on slideshow mode. That would, sir, can you please put it on slideshow mode so that it can be clearly visible?
I am in slideshow mode.
It was not on slideshow mode, sir.
Okay. How about now?
Yes, sir. Now it's on slideshow mode.
So this is the cooling pad. The PVC pipes collects the water back and it keeps on recirculating. And this is your structure that we make generally. It is a GI galvanized iron is used to make these structures, which are above 300 GSM zinc coated. This kind of GI is used to construct a polyhouse structure. Shade net, this is a shade net, which is generally used to give shade to the plants, like inside the polyhouse. After the plastic, there is a level of shade. So we have different options of shade net. We can use a 50% shade net, a 60% shade net, 40% shade net. Then there is also a alumni net that comes in the market, which helps you to control 1.5 to 2 degrees extra than what a shade net would do. So that is there. This is how a shade net looks. This is the exhaust fan that I was talking about. So it is typically a 54 inches in size. It comes in various different sizes, like a 54 inch, a 36 inch, or a 24 inch. These are different sizes that it is available in. So this is how your in a fan and pad polyhouse structure, how it is being installed. You can see the top is a 54-inch. The second one that you see on the left side is a 36-inch fan. So depending on the location, depending on the size of the project, you decide the your size of the fan. And also it depends on the distance between the fan and pad and your the CFM that the fan is producing. It is calculated through all of that. And this is a ACF that you see. It is a air circulation fan. It is basically installed inside a polyhouse to help the air to keep on circulating and to manage the humidity, because if humidity increases too much, then that is also not very good for the plants. So it comes in various models like a 5-blade or a 7-blade. So here you can see on top, these are all pictures of your ACF that we or anyone can install inside their protected structures. Also, the net that you see on the top is a alumni net. So this is the cooling pad that I was talking about before. It comes in various sizes of height, like 4 feet height, 3 feet height, 5 feet height, 6 feet height. Thickness also varies from 4-inch or 6-inch. So that again is decided on the location and the size of the project. If you are in a city of or anywhere probably in North India where you get extreme heat, then you will need to go for a 6 feet and a 6-inch thickness pad. If you're in a place like Bangalore, then you, depending on the crop, you might not even need the fan and pad polyhouse. And even if you do, then a 5 feet height or a 4 feet height with a 4-inch thickness will be more than enough to manage the temperature, because you do not get the temperature in Bangalore does not go above probably 35, 37. Again, you can see this is how your cooling pad looks like. These are your foggers. These are again, installed inside the polyhouse structure for managing your temperature and the humidity. If the temperature rises too much, we can use the foggers. And if the humidity decreases too much, then we can again use the fogger to manage it. This is your alumni net. This is your insect net, which is basically used to protect for so that any insects are not able to come inside. This is your the UV stabilized polythene film that we talked about before. It is a 5-layered UV stabilized film with a thickness of 800 gauge or 200 microns. At 20, it is not 20, it is 200. Then we install weed mat, which is basically installed on the floor of the polyhouse so that no insects or weeds can come from the ground, and we eliminate the ground completely, because since we are majorly into your hydroponics and soilless farming, so we are not using soil or the land anyways. So we install this kind of weed mat. So as you can see here, all our projects or whatever we do, we install this kind of weed mat. So there is no any connection with soil or land anytime. So any kind of insects or weeds are also not able to come inside. Then this is how a trellising is done. Trellising is basically for your creepers plants, which basically takes the support of these UV wires and it so that it can rise high. The plants that you see here are most probably cherry tomatoes growing in a grow bag setup. These are some things which are used for trellising: your twine rope or a clip, then your wires, J hook, S hook, H hook. All these are used typically in a polyhouse structure. This is your overhead sprinkler. This is basically installed on top of the polyhouse structure. So when you have like very extreme heat, or if your the plastic on top has become dirty, then we can switch this on so that we can clean the plastic that we are using, or to decrease the temperature. It has two kind of uses. This is your electric control panel that is installed, which contains all the electric wiring, the MCBs, contactors, all the things, auto timers, your cyclic timers, IoT automation, all the things are controlled from this kind of panel. And when we talk about NFTs or NFT channels, this is how a NFT channel looks like, the nutrient film technique that I was talking before. It comes in various sizes. It is basically UPVC material, which is UV treated, and it is food grade. And it comes in 100 by 50, 100 by 55, 100 by 60, 65, 100 by 80, 120 by 80. A lot of different sizes are there. Again, depending on the kind of crop that you want to do, you decide on the kind of NFT channel that you would have. And it also comes with openable, non-openable both, but mostly openable channels are more advisable because then you can easily clean them when the time comes. This is how a NFT project looks like. The two photos on the left and bottom you see is basically a flatbed stand, and the right top that you see, that is a A-frame stand. Both are NFT systems, but the design of both are different, having its own benefits and disadvantages. This what you are seeing, this is a double layer NFT stand or a double layer NFT system. These are your Dutch buckets. Dutch buckets are typically used to grow crops which require more space or to grow vine crops. So your cherry tomatoes, English cucumber, your bell peppers, all these kind of things you can grow in a Dutch bucket setup. So this is how a Dutch bucket setup looks like once it has been up and running. So we can see cucumbers have been grown here on top, English cucumbers. These are your arrow towers. So arrow towers are basically like a vertical structure in which again you can grow different kind of leafy greens and small sized crops. This is a RO, commercial RO, 1000 LPH commercial RO setup. So it is generally required for a commercial hydroponics farm. It again depends on the kind of TDS level or the water quality that you have in your area. If your TDS is less than 100 or less than 150, then it is not mandatory to go for a RO system. But if it is upwards of 500 or more than 700,000, then we need to have a RO system. This is a IoT dashboard screen that you can see. So all our farms that we make or we operate have a completely IoT enabled, are completely IoT enabled. So you get an online dashboard wherein you can see the pH of the water, the EC of the water, the temperature of the farm, the humidity of the farm, and what are the different elements that are present, whether they are on, off, fogger, fan, pipe pump, exhaust fans, ACF. So all these things you can check online and manage online. This is a auto fertigation unit that we install depending on the size of farm. So one project we recently did in Lucknow, it was a 4-acre farm. So this is the photo of that particular farm only. So from this, just this one room, the complete fertigation of 4 acres is being managed from just this one machine. And the complete, the ACFs, the foggers, the temperature, humidity management, everything is being done automatically from just this room. We have fed all the data, we have made all the algorithms. Now it works automatically. We have set up the schedules of the fertigation. Like on Monday, we want this much of EC to be distributed in this poly house, this EC in this poly house. This will be the time. This much will be the ML. Everything we feed, we can set the whole weekly schedule, and automatically it will manage everything. On the right side, the tanks that you are seeing, these tanks are basically your concentrated tanks, which is a and B stock solution. So, and the left hand side, the tank, small tank that you see, that is basically a mixing tank. So through these pipes, the solenoid, through the automatic solenoid valves, the A and B stock solution is taken, and then it comes into the left tank. It is being mixed, and once the desired EC has been reached, then there is a automatic solenoid valves are present on the right side, which is not visible in the image. Through those valves, automatically they open, and all the nutrition is being distributed into the desired setup. These are few elements that are generally required in a hydroponics. That is, your hydrotone is your clay balls, which basically is used for providing moisture to the plants and support to the plants. Oasis sponge or Oasis cubes are basically your things which is used to germinate the plants. Like the seeds that we put for germination, it is basically put into this kind of sheet, and once it germinates, we take it out, and once it has crossed, like depending on the crop, if it is lettuce, we keep that in the nursery for around 10-12 days. When it is good enough, like we see the true leaves and all, then we can take one individual cube and we put it into the net pot that you see on the left side. And then later that net pot is put into the NFT system that we saw before. Your germination tray, coco peat or sticky traps are things that are used in a setup. Then we have your pH up solution, pH down solution, pH pen, hygrometer, TDS pen. These are all the things that are used. This is a naturally ventilated polyhouse that you see on your screen. So a naturally ventilated polyhouse, as the name suggests itself, is basically nothing but naturally ventilated and polyhouse. So the shape that you can see is like this from the top. It is aerodynamic in nature, and there is a bird net that is present on the top, so air can come in, but insects or birds cannot come from there. And on all the four sides you can see that there is a rolling net option that is available, that if it is summer, then we can roll up the plastic, and so that below the plastic as well there is an insect net that is there. So in summers we can just roll up that plastic, and there will be proper ventilation of air from all the sides, so that the inside crops do not get damaged because of extreme heat. So that rolling net option is there in this kind of naturally ventilated polyhouse. And when it is a winter time or when it is raining, we can just roll it back down so that the water does not enter, or if it is winter, so inside we can maintain some kind of heat. It is again made with GI pipes and GI structures. This is how a polyhouse is constructed step by step. These are the things that are typically used. We have already discussed them. This is a sand filter, which is basically the bore well that we have. So after the bore well, the water goes through this sand filter, and depending on your TDS, if required, it goes to the RO system and then to your storage tank, and then further to your setups, your plants and all. These are your grow bags. So the black pipe, the lateral that you see, that is basically your online drippers are used. Online drip line it is not an inline drip. So we have installed PCJs on top of that, and we are converting it to manifold using manifold, and we are doing it. We are putting the aero drippers. The dripper that you see going inside the grow bag, it is called as aero drippers. So we use this kind of aero drippers, which basically helps in the uniform distribution of the nutrient water inside the grow bag, and it helps for the even distribution. That is, all the bags that will be there, they will get equal amount of water. One will get 10 ml, one will get 40 ml. It will not happen like that. And on the bottom right side, the image that you are seeing, that is a grow slab. So the difference between the two is that the grow bag system is a bit labor intensive, because you have to buy grow bags separately, you have to buy coco peat separately, you have to wash the coco peat, or you have to do that washing and all, so that you can decrease the EC. Once that happens, then you start filling your bags with your coco peat, and then you put it on the inside the polyhouse or wherever you want to put it. While at the same time, the grow slabs are basically, it is a ready-made slab, wherein it comes in various options, like a 70% coco peat and 30% coco chips, and 60-40 different ratios are available. So what you have to do is just buy that slab and just put it there and do the drip irrigation system. It is ready to go. Then we come on to shade net house. First, we discussed your fan and pad temperature controlled polyhouse structure. Then we discussed your naturally ventilated polyhouse. Now we come on to shade net house. So this is how a shade net house generally looks. There are two kind of options in a shade net house. Either we can go with a dome type structure shape, or we can go with a flat roof type shape. So again, this is, if you talk about, there is no plastic that is involved in this. It is completely net. So if in case of rainy season, or if when it rains, the water will come inside. So again, all these structures are different, and as per the location, as per your location, you have to decide which kind of the controlled environment setup is suitable for you. Suppose you are in Cherrapunji and you install a shade net house, then it is no point of doing that because it is raining there every day. So there is no point of doing it. Suppose you are in a place which is near to the sea and there is very high humidity, and there you install a fan and pad polyhouse. Then again, there is no point because the fan and pad works on the humidity concept itself. So it will just take the humidity even higher. So you have to consider your own geographical situation and the climatic condition. As per that, one has to decide what kind of setup you have to go ahead. This is a flat roof type net house structure. So generally, if you compare, for summers, fan and pad is very good. For summers, net house is okay because there is a lot of ventilation that is happening. And for summers, your poly house is not very much okay. It is okay. When we talk about your rainy season, for rainy season, your again fan pad is okay. We will not run the cooling pads. Fan pad is okay. Your poly house is also good because it is protected from all the ends. Water will not come inside. You can maintain everything. And net house, it is not good. So two seasons we discussed. Now suppose for the winter season, fan and pad is again okay. Poly house is also good. But your net house, if it is extreme winter, then what will happen that inside also your temperature will be very less. So again, that is not good. So depending on what kind of weather conditions and which kind of adverse condition you have to select key. We try for key all three seasons are suitable for you. But at least the setup that you choose, it should suit at least two seasons as per your place. Then you will be able to take more and more production. So again, as you can see, this is the dome type net house, and this is your flat type net house. Coming to the hydroponics, we have like NFT. If you do in NFT, we can do it in flatbed or A-frames, or we can do it in vertical indoors. Or then we have a Dutch bucket, your grow bag, trough system, grow slabs. These are the different kinds of crops that you can grow in this, from lettuce, basil, herbs, spinach to your capsicum, broccoli, Indian vegetables, all the things you can grow. So this is your NFT stands in a flatbed system. A flatbed stand or a flatbed NFT system looks like this. And these are your A-frame NFT stands. So A-frame is basically a A-shaped structure, or a pyramid-shaped structure is called a A-frame system. These are your indoor vertical farms or indoor vertical designs or structures. So in this, basically you have a stand and then you stack different layers of NFTs. Like we have till now, we have done 4 layers, we have done 5 layers. We even did one project which had 6 layers. So till now we have done 6 layers of vertical farming. And basically in an indoor farm or a vertical farm where there is no sunlight, there we use grow lights, which substitutes your sunlight. So grow light is something very specific, which has its own spectrum. It has its own wavelength, like 440 nanometer of blue is used, 660 nanometer of red is used, your far red 730 nanometer is used, your UV is used. So all different combinations are used as per the crop, whether it is a leafy crop or it is a fruiting crop. Depending on the kind of crop, you choose the kind of spectrum or the kind of your wavelength your light will have, and more of which you will have. These are your Dutch buckets, and these are your grow bags. These are your trough systems. So again, trough is basically like it is a HDP plastic, which is and inside we have filled it with coco peat, and then we can this particular photo that you are seeing, this is for a vertical haldi setup that we had done 6 months back. Now it is full of haldi that has already been grown in this, so we are getting good results in this. These are your grow slabs. So we can go ahead with questions if you have any.
So yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the lecture. Actually, the clock is also taking very fast, so we will just take one or two questions because the next guest is always also ready.
So no, I think I was pretty much on time.
Yes, sir. No problem with that, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, I just wanted to know how to control. You just told about the, the known occurrence of insect and pest. So, but how to regulate the fungal and microbial or algal attack in the nutrient or the plants?
So basically, for your fungal diseases, we have to manage it through the humidity. We need to control, like if you are using foggers, then it should be in such a way that a lot of water or fogging does not go on and sit onto the leaves of the plant. That should not happen, because if the leaves are getting exposed to water continuously, there will be fungal thing that can happen. And then we can manage it through biopesticide, or through using neem oil, or through using some kind of fungicides, through plant extracts, and by different kinds of bacteria as well can be used for your algae as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And sir, what about the quality of water? You told that you're using the bore well and using that water. So how are you controlling the quality of water in the hydroponics, or what are the other like other qualities like pH of water? How it should be there for the use?
So basically in hydroponics, what we generally do is we put up a RO system and we take out all the minerals that are there. We take it as near to 0 or 50 or 100 that it is possible. And then we add on nutrients manually, all the nutrients that are required in the desired amount. So that is there. So if your water is less TDS, like 100, 200, then we can manage in that. If it is not, for commercial purpose, you have to put up RO. For your home purpose, you can use your normal water, whatever is available.
Yes, sir.
And the pH is generally somewhere around 6.26. That is what we generally maintain.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. And sir, this is generally we see that in germination a different temperature is required for flowering, for reproductive phases. Different temperatures are required. So how do you maintain that with the use of polyhouses and different type of polyhouses?
So inside the polyhouse, we create a separate stand kind of thing, which has its own dark room. So once you are doing the germination, what we do is we pack the seedling, your tray, we pack it with a plastic, we wrap it, and then we keep it in that dark room for the first 24 to 36 hours till the time the seed emerges. Once that happens, then we put it in the sunlight.
Okay, sir. So that's all. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing this much with us. And we really thank from the core of our hearts. Thank you so much, sir. We hope to see you again in the upcoming lectures also, and the upcoming programs also.
Sure. It was a pleasure, was all mine. Thank you so much, Rishi, and to all the audience who were present and listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so this was Mr. Tushar Agarwal, and now I will hand over the platform to Dr. Khushbu to introduce our next guest, Dr. Khushbu.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you're definitely audible and visible. So the platform is all yours now. Please continue with the session.
Okay, thank you, Rishi. So good evening, everyone. I, Khushbu, will be your host for this third session of 12th day of Agriculture 3.0 International Training Come Workshop. So first of all, I would like to introduce our today's guest speaker, Mr. Rishabh Suri. He is a 25-year-old third generation entrepreneur who right from his early school days in boarding school has been fascinated by the thought of being an entrepreneur. He got his first opportunity of working in an enterprise at the age of 20 after dropping out of the ICAR in the summer of 2016, running an automobile franchisee business in the state of Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Gave him an hands-on experience in sales, customer satisfaction, organizational structure, teamwork, and selling value over price. This set a base for him to take up similar opportunities in the state of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, where his family members were based. In all these years, he also on the lookout of venturing into business closely associated with waste management, sustainability, and based on circular economy model along with CSIR and IIST as a technology partner. He was able to fructify this in November 2020 by incorporating Quadrat, a manufacturer of sustainable disposable tableware made out of agricultural waste and residue based on Trivandrum, Kerala. When he's not working in his spare time, he would like to spend his downtime surfing, gardening, playing with pets, and spending time with his family. So now I would like to invite our guest speaker. So, sir, please.
Khushbu, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir, very much audible.
Okay, thank you for that glorious introduction, and it's a great pleasure being here with all of you, and I'm really thankful to Just Agriculture for giving me this opportunity. Since it's the slot right before dinner, I promise I'm not going to take so much of your time, and I promise to keep this as short and sweet as possible. So unlike the others, I wanted to keep this as a very interactive session, and therefore I do not have any presentation along with me. I just want to talk about what we are doing here, and a little about my journey in entrepreneurship and sustainability. So allowing myself to introduce myself, like you said, I'm a 25-year-old boy, and I'm a third generation entrepreneur also. So we currently manufacture sustainable disposable tableware. So it looks something like this. The name of our brand is Kudrat. I'm sorry if it has been blurred. So it always wasn't like this. So firstly, I would want to tell you how exactly we guys got here. So it was probably 2016 at the age of 20 that due to certain unforeseen reasons, I had to drop out of the ICAI, and I got this opportunity of pursuing entrepreneurship to move on. And while doing this, the business that we went into wasn't a very clean business. So we were basically selling cars and bikes, and it had nothing to do with sustainability. It was more about increasing the carbon footprint, whereas now we reduce the same. So, I mean, it was a good life. It was a profitable venture, but like every other industry, the automobile industry also faces certain disruptions coming into it in the future. For example, with the coming in of electric vehicles, there is going to be a massive change that is going to be coming into the internal combustion industry, where service revenues and our parts revenues are going to drop drastically. In the automobile industry, we also see that with globalization taking place, with logistics coming into place, the D2C, direct to customer industry, is also going to be on a major rise. So this whole automobile fraternity of dealers, they are going to be hit by a very disruptive time very soon. So keeping all of these factors in mind, and since I was the third generation into the same business, I wanted to venture out into something new, and the thought of doing something related to waste really had this bug on me. So keeping all of these factors in mind, I was on the lookout for something that can be done related to a circular economy, related to waste. And we tried a lot. I mean, since I had never done manufacturing in my life, I wanted to do something that, it isn't very capital intensive, but at the same time, it is related to the circular economy. So we tried all kinds of waste, solid waste, electronic waste, and even forms of traditional manufacturing, plastic film, a replacement for plastic film. So keeping all of these factors in mind, we were not able to, fructify on anything. But it was only until COVID that I finally got an opportunity, and something clicked. And it didn't exactly click in North India. It was down below in Thiruvananthapuram, where we found this research institution that had this technology of converting agricultural waste into tableware. we at that point of time, there were other competitors that were available in the market, for example, bagasse, but we wanted to do something that was different. We wanted to find an alternative waste. So rice straw was always our first preference. But when finally we got to the part where we got the technology and we started working along with CSIR, we realized practically in the state that rice straw is very expensive in South India. So keeping that fact in mind, I mean, we had to completely change our raw material. And we were going from pillar to post and looking for various other raw materials. We tried our hand at pineapple leaves. We tried our hand at banana stems, which are all locally available in Kerala. And, there were a lot of logistical issues, cost issues, and certain other limitations because of which we weren't able to narrow down on that. We also found water hyacinth, which is enough and more available in Kerala. But once again, I mean, using it for a food grade purpose and it being contaminated with this certain amount of toxins in it, it didn't really work out. So finally, we narrowed down upon rice husk, and we were able to make something out of that. We started doing our trials in the laboratory, and we did start getting good products. Now, after this, once we did the signing of this technology transfer, I mean, I was of the impression that getting the technology and then from there onwards, it's a very simple process altogether. But on the other hand, it's a completely different ball game altogether. Once we were done signing the MOU, I mean, we were really expecting that things would move very smoothly and very fast at a very quick pace, and setting up our commercial unit would not take a lot of time. But that's when we started realizing that the technology that we took in the first place, there was a lot of problem regarding the viability of the project. Now, any technology that you have, as good as it may be, or whatever brilliant part it may have, but as long as it's not financially viable, it just would not make sense to convert it into a commercial venture. So that reminds me of one of the old business studies principles, which tells us about the business of a business must be business. So keeping that fact in mind and really tweaking around it, it took us almost a year. The whole of 2021 we spent doing that. And in the meanwhile, we also faced, since we were working with a big team, and there were a number of scientists who were on board, there were a number of senior scientists who were on board, then there was also the entrepreneur and the businessman, all of us put together, where there was this sort of a small argument or exchange between all of us regarding financial viability, whereas how pure the technology should be and what all other things that need to be taken care of. These are the extra procedures we have to follow. But in following those extra procedures, we were it just wasn't becoming viable for us. So keeping that in mind, like a lot of scientific analysis, I mean, it was sort of paralyzing the whole project, thinking about things again and again. So this was another point where we had a lot of doubt in the project. But we also had statutory issues. I mean, setting up a manufacturing unit, there is a lot of regulatory approval that has to come in. There is the pollution control board, there is the factories and boilers team, there is also the fire team, and a number of departments. So even though everything, we are setting up an absolutely zero waste manufacturing unit, but it's a long process altogether. So this was another hitting point that came back to us at times when the solutions to our problems seemed a lot bigger than the problems. So that sort of delayed us even more. And I remember, I recall this incident very clearly, where when we were going to pitch our product back in the day, and the initial feedback that we were taking with prototypes, trying to get more and more people on board, and tell them about what we at Kudrat were doing. So I remember having this discussion with a religious institution whom we offered our containers as a prashad holding container. And I mean, I was very positive about that meeting, and I was really happy because they were using large volumes of this. And only at the end of it did I realize that they told me that, will you be willing to give this as an offering to the temple? So once again, like we were a startup, and things were already very difficult for us, and it was just becoming harder and harder. And when I think about all of these things, like there have been multiple incidents, but if I were to sort of have a dollar for every time somebody said no or somebody didn't believe in the project, I think we at Kudrat would have been a much bigger and a better company in terms of monetary terms. So yes, it has been very difficult, and it is quite a journey. But on the other hand, I would just say that you ought to keep trying. When all of this was happening around, it became like a really low time for me, and it sort of hit rock bottom, where we had gone in for this project and everything was happening, and there were so many obstacles that were coming in again and again. But I took to another adventure sport in Trivandrum. We have the sea there, so there is also surfing available. And when the first time I was able to go into the sea, I realized that when you're paddling on your boat amidst the waves, there's so much of plastic that you can observe in the sea right there. You'll have cement bags, you'll have plastic bottles, plastic cups, all sort of things. So we are the first and the last generation that can really do something about it. So keeping that factor in mind, that really motivated me. And that is another point that I always go back to whenever I feel low about something like this. So I would say there was no looking back after that. And we then moved into Kudrat full-fledged. So currently, now talking a little about Kudrat and what we do here. So Kudrat is a manufacturer of sustainable disposable tableware. Products are biodegradable, environment loving. We do not use any form of chemicals, binders, laminate, or adhesive to give our product a water resistance and an oil resistance. We engineered our products in such a way that they are also animal edible. What we wanted was that if the fish or the animals on land are to mistakenly consume our products, it should not cause any harm to them. We also kept in mind the carbon footprint. So when you look at plastic, for example, manufacturing of plastic is an extremely carbon intensive process. There is around 6 kilograms of CO2 emitted for every 1 kilogram of plastic that you manufacture. And when we look at the other alternative, which is paper, so paper comprises of 18 kilograms of CO2 for every 1 kilogram of paper that you manufacture. And there's a lot of cutting of trees, which has a secondary impact too. So keeping all of these factors in mind, Kudrat was able to get a carbon footprint which was 90% lower than plastic and almost 270% lower than paper. And we were able to achieve that, and that also adds to our product. And in terms of utility, we kept microwavability and a strong and rigid product in mind, where we do not face the problem of balancing our gravies on our plates, unlike the paper and the plastic plates. And yes, so that was a little about what we are doing at Kudrat. And we're an early stage startup. our trial production begins only next week, and hopefully by the first week of June, we will be able to commence with commercial production. So yeah, that's about Kudrat, what I wanted to talk about. And please, guys, feel free to ask me any questions.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for such an interesting talk, sir. And regarding Kudrat, we now we learn so many things about what is Kudrat and how it's working and all. So I just request participants. So if you have any query, please drop your query in chat box.
I would really recommend people participating, because if we do not, like, I've learned it the hard way, if you do not ask a question, the answer is always a no. So I look forward to answering your questions.
So I guess everyone is now well versed about this Kudrat. So nobody is having any query regarding this particular session, I think so.
I think somebody just sent a message to me saying that plans for international presence. Yes, Mr. Anupam, we do look at it. It's there on our plan, but the only thing is that with taking a product like this to an international space, there are a lot of regulatory approvals that we need to get, and which vary from region to region. But yes, we do have it in mind. Hopefully by next year, you'd see us exporting to at least a couple of countries. So yes, we do plan to do that, and our unit economics abroad is also much better. We fetch a much better price for our product, but once again, a lot to do before we get there.
So, sir, another question is that can you just brief out which are the products which are produced by Kudrat?
Yeah. So currently, see, when we begin with our production next month, we'll have a 120 ml cup coming in, and we'll have an 8-inch snack plate. But the next thing that we plan to hit is the 750 ml container box. It would look something like this, where we would also have a lid on top. So this is basically for food delivery, where we are targeting a close to a 7 rupee range with a container and a lid, and it will only work for solid foods. So anything like a biryani or a vegetable snack, a chicken snack, that would go into this container. Yes, but once again, since we do not use any form of artificial means of giving our product resistance, it has a limitation of only 40 to 45 minutes of water resistance. So keeping food delivery in mind and that it takes time, we do not recommend putting liquid foods in there for the time being. But yes, we are working around other raw materials also, and we do look at creating something like that in the future. But yes, a solid food takeaway container would be what's next.
Okay, sir. So another question is, how exactly do you think these biodegradable products take up the market in future?
Yes, so that's an interesting question. I mean, see, even though, I mean, I've heard it from many other people that sustainability is the way forward. It is something that is here to stay, but we just don't know how long it will take for us to reach that point. When exactly we do have a plastic ban coming on in a big way from the 1st of July, but legislation versus enforceability are two completely different things. So we are all hoping that the earlier we switch to it, the better it will be. I think the consumers have to learn to bear the costs that the environment currently does, and that is the way forward for sure. But I mean, I can't really say that what exactly is going to be the deadline, but yes, it does look like there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, sir. So the next question, sir, do venture funded startups in agri sector and as another big company takeovers?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Khushbu, can you repeat that?
Yeah. So, sir, does venture funded startups in agri sector and as another big company takeovers?
See, I don't think I would agree with that, because to really bring a business to the level that it is, I mean, I'll give you a small example of something that's not related to the agricultural sector, but I'm sure you guys must all be knowing about a company called Zerodha. So Zerodha has built this amazing stock trading platform. And for example, before Zerodha came in, there is also an HDFC bank, which has, it's a multinational, and it has deep pockets. It can do great work. It has the amount of money that it can spend on that technology. But if you compare the trading platform of an HDFC bank with that of a Zerodha, there's a lot of difference. And looking at the current customer base that Zerodha has on its platform, it's miles and miles ahead of HDFC. So keeping that in mind, like I won't exactly agree with that. But yes, there are times when that could also happen. There are times when maybe the bigger company would want to buy you also out. Maybe they're interested in what you're doing, and they would want to retain you in the company. So I think it varies case to case, but I don't really agree with that.
Okay, sir. So the next question, sir, what instruments to support the development of innovative startups developing eco-innovation are offered in your country? Means like in country like India, what instrument to support development of innovative supports developing eco-innovations?
So yeah, to be really honest about it, I mean, the support is limited, but it's improving. There are a lot of companies. I mean, if you are going to be starting a startup, do take a DP IIT recognition. You will be aware about all the schemes and challenges that are running in the market, where almost every 2 or 3 weeks there's a new challenge that comes up related to various industries. And you can definitely try to be a part of all of these places. They have small cash awards, they have small grants, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 50 lakhs. But I would just say that don't base your complete project on that you're going to get some form of funding in the form of from somebody's going to support you this way. I don't really think that should be the plan. But yeah, whatever you get, take it as a bonus.
Okay, sir. So, sir, just I would like to ask you, what inspired you to develop your idea?
So, yeah, like I said that, I come from an automobile industry background, which is going to be changing in the future. And I feel that sustainability and waste management, creating wealth out of waste, is going to be the next big thing in the times to come. So I wanted to find a business venture that, takes us 20 to 30 years. You get a multifold growth there. And it is something that, you're doing good. At the same time, you're also earning money. You're turning trash into cash and, waste into value for your customers. So yeah, you're sort of killing two birds with the same stone. I think that is what really, that's the bug that really bit me. But I think that a lot of us should try, and there is a lot that can be explored in all of these areas.
Okay, sir. So, sir, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to become an entrepreneur?
I mean, get used to hearing no's, and there is a lot of self-motivation that is required. Try finding like-minded people who believe in you, and I mean, there's a very harsh and cruel saying which says that if somebody has to convince you to be an entrepreneur, you really shouldn't be one. So I just feel that everybody's consequences are different. The conditions that they're born and brought up in, and what may work for one person, what may not. But I feel it's a great place to be in, and I mean, it's something that's going to rise multifold in the times to come. An entrepreneur in every home.
Okay, sir. So we are done with the question session. So
I think there is Titus Mandal who has raised a hand. It's just flashed on my screen.
okay, sir. So we are done with our question session,
Okay.
and I hope everybody is clear about the Kudrat and its product and what the related things. So okay, thank you so much, sir, for being with us.
Thanks, Kushbu. It was a pleasure being with all of you, and feel free to reach out to me and connect with me on LinkedIn. Anyways, if anybody wants, if I can be of any form of assistance in the future, I would love to help you all. And it was great fun talking to all of you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Kushbu. See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.